Here's a bulletin from CBS News.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is David Carter reporting for WCBS out of New York. I'm still in Hollywood doing the story about Alvin and the Chipmunks and the tragedy that took place at the EMI studios about a week ago. Happily to say, Dave Seville is going to make a full recovery, and today the warden of the jail has allowed me this opportunity to interview Alvin in the actual section where visitors can actually speak behind glass with the suspects. And Alvin, the whole world, the whole nation wants to know only one answer. Why? Why did you do this to somebody who you respected enough to do these records with? And he respected you. I interviewed him. He said, I don't understand why Alvin would want to shoot me. We have arguments, he said, but not to the point that it would cause this kind of a backlash where you would want to kill him. And your fans, all those millions of children, little boys and girls out there, they want to know that answer, Alvin. Why? Why did you do this?
Look, pal, I know I've got fans, and all I'm going to say is this. Dave just drew over the line. When we came in, he was already complaining, and he was in my face screaming about, we've got to do this recording session on time, and there's no other way to do it except to be the way he wants it.
Come on now, Alvin, that's still not an answer, though. I mean, you had to have some sort of a psychopathic need to lunge out at Dave like that, to shoot him. I mean, not just once, you shot him multiple times. I mean, doesn't that show precognition? You preordained to do this. I mean, you knew you were going to shoot Dave. You had the gun somewhere on the premises of EMI when you did this, and you know, Alvin, that's absolutely sick to think that you would do something like that. I mean, that's crazy to do something like that, Alvin.
What else can I say, pal? I mean, we did the best we could with what we were doing. And I'm only going to say this once. You don't know what goes on in that recording session. You don't know the kind of stress and the pressures that we have to go through. And I tell you this to all the fans. Dave Seville is a jack. I think he doesn't care about anybody except the money. And you can hear that. You can hear that in the recording on the day that I shot him. He was upset from day one about it. Yelling at me, screaming at me. And then you hear it in the recordings up until this point. Dave Seville cares about money. He doesn't care about anything else. Don't care about the children who listen to his records. Don't care about anything for morality. If he did, he wouldn't be screaming in my face all the time, would he? He wouldn't be saying, Alvin!
Whatever your philosophies are, Dave, Alvin, I can only say this much to you. America has loved the Chipmunks. They've loved you. They've loved Simon. They've loved Theodore. They've loved Dave. And all of this hate that's built up. I mean, whatever it was, whatever it is, whatever it will be, you have to come to terms with what it's about, Alvin. It was not about money. If it were about money, then those little kids that are your fans, even now, Alvin, the ones that'll be your fans all their lives, even though they've known now what you've done, I mean, doesn't that kind of make you feel a guilt complex that you've ravaged their minds, you've stripped their innocence, because now they cannot look at this act and not think that you've done something bad that will affect them the rest of their lives. I mean, these kids are only like 2 and 3 and 4 years old, maybe 5, Alvin. I mean, you've got to have some feeling about that. At least I would think you should.
Listen, pal. This interview has gone as far as I plan to go with it. I'm going to say this only one more time. Dave was in charge of the entire band. I might have gotten all of the publicity and the public recognition, but it was Dave who was getting all the money. It wasn't me. It wasn't Simon. It wasn't Theodore. It was nobody. It was him. He got all the money. All we got was just a little scrawny paycheck to buy nuts for our tree with, okay? We never had a chance to really do anything with the potential that we had for this record label. I mean, Bags, Dazar, and Peanuts, you know? I mean, I'm a chipmunk. I gotta figure out some way to live. I gotta have something to eat to put on my table. But these little kids, I mean, they're human, so they don't know what it's like to be a chipmunk. You don't know what it feels like to have to scavenge and claw your way through tree after tree and find acorns or something to eat. And Dave, all he cared about was those big Rolls Royces he was driving around in. Do you think he ever got us a car like that? Maybe a Mercedes or any of those real expensive Cadillacs you see on the highways? No! He never did any of that. We had nothing. Dave took all of it. We got nothing. Pennies to live on.
Well, Walter, I think I've done all the interviewing I'm going to do. This creep, I mean, he's not the same person we ever thought he was. At least I don't think. And I'm sure you agree, Walter. I mean, this is a sick mind person who shoots an unarmed man like this just because he wants to have the privilege to have his own say on these albums that they've been making. And it's not the fact that Dave Seville himself, being the band leader, should decide what is said and what's recorded. I mean, I know everybody has the right to express themselves, but that's not the outcome of this. It's obvious. I mean, you got one guy who got all the popularity, and it was Alvin himself, and then you turn around and he takes it all away from the rest of the group. Because Simon and Theodore both, I interviewed them right after it happened, and they said this: we can't understand why would Alvin want to kill or even try to kill or even hurt Dave. I mean, they've always had such a great relationship.
I can only say this to those little kids out there who now their minds have been squashed by the reality of what's happening. This world will not get better, kids. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's better to face the reality now. Does anybody remember 2 years ago when our great President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas? Oh, yeah. That was a reality check, too. And all those little kids, I remember them outside the hospital crying. Yeah, you got to remember those things. You can't just kind of pretend that it didn't happen and go on with your life and think, oh, that was just a TV show. It wasn't real. Well, what I did to Dave, I did to prove to the world that EMI, Bags Dazarin, Dave Seville, they're money makers. They don't care about you. They don't care about you buying those records. They want the money. That's all they want, the money they're making. So you need to remember that. Always remember that. Everything for children is about money. And that's all it's ever going to be, kids. I'm sorry, but that's reality. And I ain't saying nothing else. Warden, get me out of here. Take me back to my cell. I ain't talking no more.
We'll keep following this story, Walter, until we can figure out an answer. But for right now, after having interviewed Alvin in jail, I can say I don't think there's doubts in anyone's mind of this chipmunk's mentality now. He is not the same person anybody ever thought he was. And we're going to end it at that and send it back to New York and to Walter. This is David Carter reporting from Hollywood, California at the local county jail. We've been interviewing Alvin the Chipmunk, who has now been incarcerated and charged with first-degree attempted murder. Going back now to WCBS, CBS Network in New York. Walter?
We'll be back in 10 seconds to allow all our stations to identify themselves and to join the network.
To recap the story, let us hear from the original report.
Today, tragedy has struck at the EMI studios. Apparently, the normal camaraderie that occurs between Dave Seville and the Chipmunks has turned violent. We have this excerpt of an audio that was picked up during one of their recording sessions. Because of the graphic nature of this, only audio will be presented.
We can hardly stand the wait. This Christmas, don't be late.
Alright, come on, let's go. We'll take it from the top, Dave. Like when there's an intermedium there. Alright, let's start with the music again.
Look, Dave, I've had it with you. We tried everything to get this record recorded. Every single time we start arguing about this, I'm really fed up with it.
Look, Alvin, I mean, if you're not happy, there's the door. Get out, okay? Because, I mean, we're here to make money, and we're not here to argue about what you want to be recorded on the record and what we know has to be recorded.
So that's the way it is, huh, Dave? It's either your way or the highway, huh?
Okay, listen, this is the control room. Let's cut out that arguing, alright? Let's get on back to recording. We gotta get this thing done. You know we're on a tight schedule, Alvin. So let's just do it the way Dave says. Very good, Simon.
Naturally.
You were smooth, Theodore. Alvin, you were kind of flat. Watch it. Alvin?
Alvin! That takes care of you, Dave.
According to eyewitnesses, Alvin continually shot until all the bullets in his gun were gone. He's right now being incarcerated at the local county jail. If we get any new information, status, of whether he's dead or not, we'll let you know. We now continue with normal programming.